guys, so today's video is going to be a college advice video. Now someone asked me to do this a really long time ago, and then recently I kind of was looking through a list of ideas and stuff, and I came across this again, and I asked you all if you had any questions on Instagram and Twitter, I think it was, and quite a lot of you responded with some questions, so I thought the video would be worth doing, so that's why I'm doing it today. I mean, there's a lot of videos on kind of university advice and like going to uni and what to take and stuff, but there's not really a whole lot on kind of college, and I know a lot of people get worried about starting college, which there's nothing to worry about at all, but anyway, we'll get on to that. So when I was in, I think it was year 11, we had like a careers meeting thing, like a one-to-one with someone, and they would kind of ask you what career you wanted to do basically, and I already thought I wanted to do hairdressing, which wasn't the case in the end, but he just kind of was like, yeah, okay, next. So he wasn't really interested about giving me any other options or trying to kind of make me look into different careers. It was just kind of like, yeah, okay, that's what you want to do, bye. But I feel like the careers advice could have been a lot more helpful, and I feel like that should definitely be improved in schools, because I know with mine anyway, it definitely did not help me at all. But anyway, that's a completely different video. So like I said, I thought I wanted to do hairdressing, so I enrolled in a hairdressing course at a college about an hour away from where I live, so it's quite far. Again, I'll get onto that later. It's really not a good idea. So I did that course for a year and I really enjoyed it. The only kind of issue for me was the travelling, because obviously I had to travel about an hour and a half on a bus there and then an hour and a half on the bus back home every time, and it was only 3 days a week, but it was still quite a lot of time to be travelling, and I didn't feel like it was necessary in the end because a lot of the colleges are very similar. So after that year I knew I wanted to do hairdressing, but I didn't want to travel an hour and a half to the college. But I really wanted to do an apprenticeship because I thought I'd be really good at the job and you can earn money at the same time and you get the same qualification and stuff. So eventually I got an apprenticeship in kind of like a local salon where I live, and I did quite enjoy it. But another thing, when you do an apprenticeship, you really don't get paid that much money at all. I feel like the government really kind of pushes apprenticeships and make them out to look really good, but my opinion was kind of good. But I know with a lot of other people, they're treated like slave labour and they get paid hardly anything and they don't really learn anything on the job at all. So I did my hairdressing apprenticeship for a while, but then I realised it wasn't really for me. I enjoy the more kind of styling part. I didn't enjoy like the colouring or the cutting or anything like that. But at college, I didn't realise that. So I'm pleased I did do the apprenticeship in a way, because I realised it wasn't what I wanted to do, and I don't think I would have realised that until I'd completed my course at college. So that brings me on to my first tip, which is definitely try out the job you're wanting to do before you enroll in a course. I wish I'd kind of done a Saturday girl job or something like that, just so I'd have got a little bit more experience and kind of realised what it was all about. So definitely, if you have an opportunity to try out what you want to do, definitely try it out. That is the biggest advice I could give you. Try out what you want to do before you enroll. So when I left my apprenticeship, it was kind of, I think it was in the October, so all of the enrollment had happened and all the courses had started, so I was worried I couldn't get into another college at that year and that I would have just a year out. And again, my education that was free would have been wasted. And I remember being really upset that whole time, like crying, because I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what career I wanted or anything like that. So I thought, why don't I just do a course that I know I'll enjoy, and then kind of that gives me a bit of time to realise what I want to do later on in life. Which brings me on to my next bit of advice, and that is to kind of choose courses or A-levels or whatever around your interests, because everyone has an idea, I think, of what they want to be when they're older, when they're about 15, 16, but it definitely does change. Like as you get older, you realise you're into different things and your interests change, and like your lifestyle changes, and even you as a person changes, I think. I mean, it's 2 years, it's quite a long time. So, but anyway, after in the October, I got enrolled in a course in photography at a different college, which was a lot closer to where I live. It was only half an hour travel, so that's a lot easier. And I really enjoyed that, and I've only just finished it this kind of summer. So now you have a little bit of background about my story and a few little tips. I feel like I should just go into kind of college life now. So basically, when you start college, I mean, it's kind of like school really. It depends which college you go to. Some are more stricter than others. In general, you're pretty free reign. You get to do whatever you like. You're treated much more like an adult than you are a child, so you don't have a uniform anymore, and you're responsible for yourself and your own work. So you're expected to get your work done in for like a deadline. You'll probably find on your course, especially now in the UK, I think you have to stay till you're like 18 or something. There'll be a lot of people on your courses who actually don't want to be there, and they're just there because they have to be there. College courses, oh my god, I sound weird. College courses are usually around 3 days a week. I know the A-level ones can be a few more days, maybe like 5 or something, but my college courses that I've done, so both hairdressing and photography, were 3 days a week, and I'm pretty sure most of them are 3 days a week as well. So at the moment, that's pretty much the advice I can think of, but I'm just going to go through your comments and answer them because I'm sure there'll be loads of stuff I've missed out. So the first question is from Avley, A-V-H-L-V-Y, sorry if I've said that wrong. They've put, how do you survive high school? How did you make it enjoyable? So this is a little bit more about school. Personally, I really enjoyed my school experience. I never had any kind of bad things happen in it really, so I did find it enjoyable, but I know towards the end I was so happy to be leaving, like you don't understand, like I was ready to go. So the next question is from Louise Beadle 1234, and it says, what subjects did you do and what were they like? So again, obviously I did hairdressing and then I did photography, and I much more enjoyed the photography than I did the hairdressing. Deanna Farishia says, any study tips? PS, I love you. Love you too. Study tips, really, it's so difficult to give study tips because everyone has a different way of doing things. I didn't really have to do a whole lot of studying because mine was just more coursework based. I didn't have any exams or anything like that. So I guess really just try and find out what works for you and just do that. Sarah Whelan says, how do you keep calm during your GCSE? So again, GCSEs I was never really too stressed about. I think it's because I knew I wanted to do hairdressing and I knew you didn't really need a lot of like GCSEs to do that, but I got good GCSEs in the end. I know I did a lot of test papers, although they didn't really help me because I did loads of science test papers thinking that I was gonna like ace it, but in the end I think I got a D for science. That was really bad. That was the only D I got, so yeah. You can only do what you can do, and as long as you go in there and give the best that you can, then that's all anyone can really ask you for. So the next question is from Emily Grace Palmer, and it says, any advice for making new friends at college? So really, I think you'll find making friends easy at college, because if you pick a course based on your interest, obviously those people on your course are more than likely to have interest in that too. So that gives you a good kind of talking point because you can discuss like things to do with it, I guess. And everyone I've met in my college courses have always been really nice and I've got on with really well. And maybe talk to people first. I know it's really hard to talk to people first, but maybe ask them a question, or I don't know. You'll know when you get there. You'll be fine, I promise. So the next question is from Chinese Haley, and it says, how do you know what you want to do after leaving college? So my advice to you now would be to get a piece of paper, write down all the things that interest you. So for me it would be like hair, fashion, makeup-ish. I really like kind of reality TV. I like making videos and photography. So I'd write all of that down and then kind of work out where that could take me and what kind of courses are related to that. So obviously you could do like fashion, art, photography, media, loads of different things like that. That's what I would do. So El Fagulik, I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, says, what's your best memory from your freshman year? Love you. So I don't know when freshman year is because I don't live in America, but I'm guessing that would be like the last year of school. Best memory? Oh god, I don't know. It feels like so long ago because it was like 3 years? 4? A long time. I don't know. Love you too, by the way. I've just read that. So cute. Cass J. Daniel says, were you nervous starting school? And what took the longest getting used to? So I think she means college. Again, I wasn't really that nervous, and like I said, I was ready to go. I guess the hardest bit to get used to is being able to wear your own clothes. Like, I was so happy to do that because wearing a uniform seriously sucks, and yeah, Lacey Jaden says, is it better to go to college, sixth form and do A-levels, or do an apprenticeship in hairdressing if I don't want to go to uni? I don't want to regret it once I've started an apprenticeship. So I feel like this whole video has been dedicated to you, Lacey. Like, I've given you all of my advice for this. So personally, like I said, I would really think hard about if you want to do hairdressing, but maybe go and do kind of like a Saturday girl job, or just like volunteer, just do whatever you can to get in there, kind of get a feel for it, see if you want to do it actually in the future. Michelle Hammond says, how did you balance schoolwork along with other things? I think this is a really good question. So obviously I was only at college for 3 days a week, so I did have 2 days off and obviously my weekend as well. So you do get quite a lot of free time off, but sometimes you do have to do work in those 3 days. Melanie Serafina says, the most embarrassing thing that happened to you? I don't know. Like the worst memory ever. Like I don't feel like anything really that embarrassing has happened that I know of anyway. So FXCK, it's AJ Plank, says future aspirations. So I really want to do a job in kind of marketing or something along with the PR lines. I really enjoy that and I find it really interesting and I feel like I'm quite good at it as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I want to go. Maddie Brooks says, how do you stay organised and what should you take by for when you start? So organised, I've always been quite organised. My room isn't that organised, but me as a person is quite organised. So really I would just suggest obviously making sure you get the work done on time, always prioritise your work and stuff. Try and get the work done at college, don't always leave it for when you go home. It's best to just kind of work hard in your college hours so then you have loads of free time later on. So what should you take and buy really depends on what course you're doing. Obviously the basics would be like a notepad, pens, colouring pens, I love colouring pens, highlighters, but I think you'll figure out more what to bring when you've kind of started really. I think I'll also mention what college bags I brought. So I used to take my Jack Wills bowler bag and I also used to take a Topshop kind of rucksack thing, but now I'm taking this bag and I really love this bag. It's like my new fave. It's the Longchamp bag and this is the large one. And this is just perfect for college really because it fits everything in it. And if I wanted to take my laptop, it would definitely fit in here. It fits like A4. I think it could even fit A3, I'm not sure. But you can just fit loads of stuff in here. So you want a big sturdy bag that you don't mind getting ruined. Like I would never bring my Louis Vuitton to college or anything like that because it would just get trashed. Like, and I just cannot. So Keris Hale says, how did you decide what you want to do once you finish? If you have chosen, what did you choose to do and what were your options? So I feel like I've answered this already. Again, obviously I chose hairdressing, big mistake. And then obviously photography, and now I've realised what I wanted to do. So yeah, I did have to go on a bit of a journey to find it, but I figured out what I wanted to do in the end. And that is all of the questions. So I really hope this video has helped you. Obviously, if you have any other questions, please leave them down below because I'm sure I've probably forgotten something. And yeah, that's all I can really say to you. Just don't worry about it. Enjoy the summer, enjoy your days off, work hard, and all will be good. And don't worry about friends either because you don't need them, you've got me. Anyway, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye.